to him some. Call him. I know you've tried before, but that's the number. He'll be in tomorrow, and then he's out again Thursday and Friday. So, and then you said he can get training set up or whatever we need. I knew they did, and I hated that. But when I got the message as late as I did, and it was like, we don't really have a choice.
Yeah, you're on their time.
Well, I mean, yeah. Really dark today. Thank you. Why does this look so dark? Doesn't that look dark?
Yeah.
The iPad.
Yes, it does.
I don't know. Why? But
Sir?
it is. Well, that square I usually get rid of, but I don't know how to get rid of it, so it's not usually there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Breath on time. You thought you were gonna be late.
Yeah, I got all my stuff out of the way.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. But you know what? I'm also not live. Because it's not. It's supposed to have that little blue netting, but it says it's live.
Anybody need one? So it's one. One quickly. $3?
I don't know,
I got
but,
slides, so that's a deal. Yeah.
well, there's
Well,
somebody
I've
on,
heard you
so
pay
it's
better.
got to be there. Something, I did it differently today, but I don't know. Look, it just got right. Oh, maybe it actually. Although that's not 9 minutes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think so, but because I didn't know where the iPad was, we may be that delayed just like we were before, but by the time we get to anything major, we'll be okay. Yep, if you want to.
We're starting this meeting just a little different. We're going to take nominations for council president. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to elect Cindy LeDuc for the president in the year 2026.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, is there any conversation? Okay, taking the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Say nay. Anyone?
No.
You can't do that on yourself.
I don't get to walk away.
Okay.
Okay. I know I might be fired if I think we're actually live, I'm hoping. So then my job is we need to elect a vice president.
I nominate, I make a motion to keep Todd as vice president.
I second that nomination.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any other nominations? All in favor? Aye. Okay, I think Todd and I work pretty well together, so I think we can make another year of this, right, Todd? All right. Okay, and we'd like for everybody to join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And guess what else I'm doing? I'm speaking. They're on my. Yeah, they are. They're over. They're in the podium. Yeah, they're here. Sorry, you guys noticed I came in and kind of went on the flustered side and couldn't find the iPad. They put it in a different spot on me today. So, our meeting guidelines. Any resident wishing to address the town council must come up to the podium and address the chair. You do not need to state your name and address because if you're speaking, you should have signed in on the back page. That way we have it. Since we have gone live, we try not to put into the ad or into the flustered, totally. We try not to publicize home addresses for people to know that you're here to actually say, hey, go to this address. Any person who is recognized may speak. However, there's no guarantee you will be recognized. Non-residents who have an interest or information to share on a specific issue can also speak with consent of the council. No person shall speak twice on the same subject except by the majority consent of the council. However, any resident who has not spoken on the issue may ask for the floor, and he or she may be the first to proceed. We will limit each speaker to 2 minutes. The total time for debate on any question shall not exceed 10 minutes. No extension of time shall be allowed a speaker to debate a question except by unanimous consent of the council. Once a matter has been the subject of a public hearing, residents will not be allowed to address the council on that. We don't have that issue tonight. As a matter of courtesy to those around you, cell phones should be placed on vibrate or silent right now. If a call must be answered, please take that outside of the meeting room. Sidebars or other distracting behavior will not be permitted. Any individual participating in distracting behavior will be asked to leave the meeting room so as not to disturb others. The total open mic session is 20 minutes. Okay, roll call.
Council President Cindy Ledoux.
Here.
Council Vice President Todd Fry.
Present.
Councilperson Sam Levine. Here. Councilperson Sunny Sailor Gordon.
Here.
Councilperson Michael Dice.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. All right, we had 2 meetings in December, 2 regular meetings in December, on December 8th and December 18th, and we need to approve those minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of December 8th and December 18th of 2025.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Well, we need a motion to approve the financial statement.
I make a motion to approve the financial statement
For December.
December 2025.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The approval of invoices for the month of December.
I make a motion to approve the invoices for the month of December 2025.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of bank statements for December.
Make a motion to approve the bank statements for the month of December 2025.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? I guess any discussion, but all in favor? Any discussion first up? Okay, and then all in favor. It sounds like carried unanimously. Approving the payroll warrants for, I don't have dates over here. I should have. Do you know what they are?
December 2025.
Just all of December?
Yeah.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the payroll warrants reports for the month of December 2025.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay. No, but thank you. I need to verify that's fine though. Okay, questions, concerns, or remarks from the audience? Okay? And did you sign it back there?
About the way the water bill's figured, but I see farther down it's gonna be discussed, so I'll wait until.
Okay, all right. Anybody else?
Oh, okay, on parking, what kind of ordinance do we have as far as blocking the sidewalks?
Um,
I mean, can you just park on the sidewalk or block the sidewalk or side street? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, no, you cannot.
You cannot do it. Could somebody check the house on West Howard that parks in the 100 blocks, he blocks the driveway. He's got so much crap in his driveway that he can't park up in it. No, it's 100 on
What kind of vehicle is it?
it. Pardon me?
What kind of vehicle is it?
He's got two, he's got a pickup and a SUV. South side of the road. Next door to Roger Slee.
Do you have the number to Cass County Dispatch?
No.
okay.
You're welcome.
Did you sign in back there?
Yes.
Okay, I just, because I don't recognize a face here. I know most of them, and I'm like, okay, I at least wanted us to be able to kind of go back and make reference. So, thank you, because I'm sure I can figure it out there by matter of elimination.
Just give me 1 second. Don, give me the last name.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else from the audience?
So is it just open for any question?
Right, yep.
A year ago, I came down here and asked about the sidewalks, and then we said that we had got a grant, we were gonna have sidewalks put in, so it kind of got shelved for the moment. I'm just revisiting that. At my residence, the sidewalk is just totally messed up, and I asked if I could just remove it, because it's more of a trip hazard with the way it's broken grass going up to it. I'm just revisiting that. Is there still an issue with removing that, since the town did not put sidewalks on the east end of town?
Can you tell me what street?
Howard.
Okay. Because that was probably when we were doing the one project and we weren't exactly, I think we were probably working on approval for a project at that point and we weren't sure.
Yeah,
How much money
that's
we
why
would
I
have.
come back
Yes,
and didn't pick
yes,
that back up.
yeah.
So it's just, nobody walks on it. It's just more, and I was just like, if I can level my yard out, that would just make it more appealing. If you want the sidewalk left there, I'm okay with that too. I just want to know what needs to be done with it since it's jacked up.
John, what is the policy on any of that? Do you know?
Well, at some point, we will revisit the.
Right, but it'll be a while. So if he's thinking it's unsafe and things now, if he can make
I
it a
don't.
safe
I've heard-
level, is that something we would just need to agree to?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what he's asking.
Well, and I get that, but what I'm asking what policy is, we have never had anybody come to us asking really about doing that.
They do it, and nobody.
Yeah, because I started to say, I know that we've had that before. You're looking at me.
Well, the issue is that when we do a project, and whatever's done, maybe it's paved over, rolled over, I mean, it's one of those things where, I think we kind of into this, and actually somebody who had changed their entire driveway around. because
Right.
they had just
Right.
done so, and when you make it a project, they're going to utilize the driveway that they have in the past, and kind of.
That's true, yes.
Too bad a situation.
Right.
For the homeowner, so that's the cautionary tale of it.
I'm still currently trying to make improvements at my residence, and I am still working on currently getting the driveway out to the street, paved or concrete in or whatever. So, I mean.
Yeah. So I don't know if you heard what Brad was
I
saying.
couldn't understand what he was saying.
When we did those projects, the 2 streets that we did, the sidewalks and everything, there had been some people that had done exactly what you're talking about doing. And then we come in and we're like, okay, we're going to restore back where the sidewalk was and
And I'm
that
good
kind of
with that
thing.
if it ever comes back, but it'll be new and fresh.
But this ended up creating an issue in that particular area. And so that's what he was wanting to make sure that,
Well, I don't care. If you guys want to ever come back and say we're reinstalling it, I'm good with that. I knew that from the beginning. I just want to know If
So
there's something that I can do now to just
do we need,
make my curb appeal, look a little better, get rid of the trip hazards, and I probably won't get till summer, I'm not gonna do it when it's cold outside. And
so
You
do
need
we,
to go look at things, and you need to make some sort of assessment on your side. I don't know anything about this property at all.
I would be good with what he's wanting.
I know what he's talking about.
so do we just need, do we just need to kind of add that down there once we're taking action? Or
100
can we
feet,
just say
probably
that
about 100
now?
feet.
100 feet, the whole sidewalk for 100 feet?
Yeah, it's all in front of my residence. That's the only
Okay.
place where I'm at, you say not to say addresses, so where I'm at, John knows where I live, so
Okay.
my actual residence, where my property line is, the only one that has a sidewalk on that side of the street, and it's messed up.
Thank you.
So, okay. All right, so Brad said that we probably just need to vote to give him permission to do that, if anybody wants to make a motion, or to not let him do that, whichever.
I'm not.
I'll make a motion to allow the update to the sidewalk per the homeowner under the conditions that it can change back at our discretion.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. That was the first, we've never done a vote right there, so I had to make sure what my process
Well,
was, so
when I
thank
was here
you.
over a year ago, we talked about it, that's kind of
Yeah,
how it got brought up and assessed at that time, but then everybody said, just wait, because we're getting grants for some
Yeah.
sidewalk work done, so just waiting to see where it's gonna go. Well, I've been so hard on other projects, what I've been trying to do, that's kind of like the least of my concern, but if I can smooth it out at some point in time, I'd like to.
yeah, no, makes perfect sense, so thank you. It's always nice to have somebody wanting to make improvements. All right, anybody else? Yep,
Well, I guess I want to talk about the welcome to Galveston sign, or the lack of, coming from the south end of Cook's, south end coming from Coconut, and the Galveston south side. It's not there. Now, I don't know if there's one on the north side. There used to be, I believe Austin was
We
there.
redone both of them. but-
He redid them both?
At
Well, the
one
one that's
time.
gone on the south side. So I just thought it'd be nice to have it. Yeah, that's one.
hey, I'm gonna ask that you send me a message, and you can just message me, text me, whatever, in, let's say, 3 or 4 months. And my reason for that is the last time that Sunny and I were at a meeting with some of the county people, with part of some things that they're working on, they are talking about doing another unified sign throughout the county. And that'll give us time to know whether that is being addressed again or not, because I think we definitely would want to join in on a county project. We've not even discussed this with them because that's where the county was with it, but it has been brought up. So remind me, just
Okay, well, I'm
even,
sure I'll see you out.
you know, yeah, but, you know, or just, you know, because by then we may have more information from them. So,
And then, another thing. Another thing.
Question, I'm new to Galveston. Is there anyone famous from this town, just such as Peru is very proud to say, you know, home of Cole Porter, and Kokomo, home of Norman Bidwell? Is there anybody from Galveston, or do we put on a welcome? We have. Put on a welcome to Galveston sign something of, you know, home of Alan McCloskey, and someday people just as fine, or something of that nature.
well, I actually have had a person this week that talked to me, so I think we need to look at some entry signs, all of us, maybe even go out and look, because I got a message from somebody this week talking about even the cast signs and stuff coming in, and I think those are probably up to casts and those particular groups is probably who did that, but that's something for us to think about, so good idea. But to my knowledge, no. And she's lived here forever, so.
What about those two that are on the FBI wanted most?
Yeah. Okay.
And one more thing.
Yep.
Well, since we're on talking about signs, I mean, I've been to Greentown and, you know, Rossville, Flora, and they have all the hometown heroes. You know, I mean, if it wasn't for them, where would we be now? So I love those hometown heroes.
They're sharp
signs,
looking, yeah.
And I don't know what it's gonna take. But
That's a
are
good
those,
idea.
are those sponsored by?
In many
individual
towns,
families?
in many towns they are.
I don't think it'd be a problem.
My hometown doesn't, but they charge like $200 for them. I mean, it was pretty expensive, and they reuse them for 2 or 3 years or whatever during that time. But we looked at them because
Well, at the American 250 meeting that you weren't at, in Logansport, I found out what they do is they keep the same brackets on the poles, and then different people sponsor the signs, and they switch them out throughout the year. I didn't know that before, but we've had that discussion.
I think I might know someone on the Greentown board that I might talk to as well, but I'd have to get some support from the local Legion here, which that'd be Kenny McCoker, wouldn't it?
I don't know who does the Legion
Our
anymore.
vets.
Who?
What about our vets?
That's why, that's.
Yeah.
I
I know
I'm
for a fact,
gonna
we're getting
support
our vets
our
right out of
vets.
this town passed away.
So
I'm sure someone, I would personally, I don't have anyone who's in the military, I'm first generation here in America, here in the United States, but, I'm sure that there are family members that would wanna have their grandfather, father, brother, sister, mother, someone that they would want to put on there as a hometown hero. And I mean, we could start going down, start at like Murray Funeral Home or whatever and go that way around. Well, I'm just going there.
yeah, so and I would be happy to talk to somebody with you to be able to bring it back, because we have talked about it and we kind of looked at them at one
I think
point.
it makes
So
the town nicer too.
Yeah,
Not
they're
only that,
classy.
they're showing
they are. They're sharp, and it shows some pride in your community. So
picture of it.
so I agree. All right, anybody else?
One last thing, who do I get in contact with? On my property, I want to put a container. I know that sounds bad, but I want to get it one trip, it looks nice, it's not banged up, rust up, waist level, handle, I want to be able to put my tractor in there, my side-by-side, my mower. And I've got a drawing how that looks, but who do I forget what steps I need to take, and who I need to get this approved, because I'm assuming if I put it there, somebody will scream if I don't go through the right channels.
That would go through planning, and when do they meet?
Wednesday, third Wednesday.
They're okay. So and
Go to town hall and get the form, we'll fill out a form, take some measurements, put down where you're gonna sit it, and then bring that to the meeting on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock.
We're gonna have the drawing in here just in case I could present.
Oh, yeah,
so
scratch something down, crayon. And
Well, I got those in training, but I gotta check.
then bring it to us at the meeting at 7 o'clock, and we'll get you a room
7?
at the old town hall.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. How you doing then?
okay.
That's what I need to
All
do.
right, anybody else? Because I just broke every rule we have. You speak once, you do. Oh well, remember I flustered. I couldn't find my iPad to start with.
We have people here.
So yes, and there are people. I'm excited. Okay, John.
In addition to the daily test of the wastewater treatment, water treatment, work orders, locates, the following was also done. Turn-offs was on the 9th, meters was read on the 11th, water samples was taken on the 1st. We was able to get a brine unit for the street department. We worked on that, installing it, setting it up on the 19th, 22nd through the 24th, 29th through the 31st. Plowed some snow, 1st through the 4th, 9th through the 11th, and the 13th. Any questions from the council?
I can't tell you how excited I am about that brine unit, and I've said to everybody, we have been field tripping to Kokomo, or some people in here have, and so that's kind of exciting to think. Just an FYI, Michael had contacts in Kokomo with the pre-treating that they were doing on their roads, and they went and looked one day and have since bought the units. And hopefully we'll have that up so that we can pre-treat before, like this weekend's event would have been, to possibly not have it quite as bad. Give us some time.
How close are we, John?
Well, I'm just getting ready to set the tanks for the chemical inside. the old water plant, so getting really close to that. So
I
if
share
you
Cindy's excitement.
I'm excited about
if
this.
you could,
Very good.
get us a contact source for the, beet juice and the calcium.
I thought I gave that to you. Did I not do that to you?
Well, I contacted that guy, but I never returned a phone call.
Okay.
I've not got a hold of, I've not went back to Brent to see if, you know, who his contact source was.
I'll get him tomorrow.
Thank you.
I see a curiosity question
I'm not gonna worry about that, that's not.
Okay. there. Okay, all right. Nick,
January 9th was National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, so thanks to all those who reached out to our department, showed support. It's greatly appreciated to have support during this profession day in and day out. I'm still getting estimates for the new computer systems that we need in our vehicles with the new CAD. Holidays and my vacation kind of put that behind. So we should be getting those in this week. Reminder, flock has been signed and completed. Again, it's going to be summer for the installs, 1 to 2 days for that installment. The truck ordinance has been enforced as much as possible. So far, we've collected 60 fines at $200 a piece, so our fund is totaled at $12,000 for the semi-truck ordinance violations. Held our Galveston Police Department annual officer meeting on December 30th at 3 p.m. It went pretty well. We had 2 board members that participated, which was nice for transparency. And then I was appointed for my 4th annual term with Cass County EMA Emergency Advisory Board. I'll be sitting as the vice president. Sheriff Schroeder will be the president in 2026 for EMA. And then I have a handout. If anybody wants to look at it, it's 120 calls for service for the past 30 days. It details everything we did for the past month. It's for official use only because it's got people's personal information on it and things of that nature. But it does show our activity and productivity and where we've made our traffic stops at and what we've pretty much been doing the past 30 days. So that's all I've got. If you guys wish to see it, I can pass it around and I'll collect it back. And then just everybody have a great new year in January. Any questions?
scared that it's halfway over. Okay.
Question?
I live on North Street, which everybody knows with the bridge out. It's my concern, well, number one, there was a semi that went down there today, and I don't know how he got out, but he did somehow. But that curve and the speed that those people come down that street, there is going to be a head-on accident.
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking 50, 60 mile an hour they're going, and they come into my yard when they meet cars. Someone's going to get hurt, and I've never seen any police presence on that road. On that part of it.
I can send a group message out to have that area enforcement.
Yeah, because I mean, when like the factories, the people get off of work, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, it's just, I waited for 10, 12 cars before I could even get out of my driveway.
Yeah.
And at some point, there's gonna be a really bad accident.
It seems like they're using North Street more now than they did before. Like people are bypassing.
Oh, yeah, it's
the intersection
because
18 and
either that or Cemetery Road, Maple Street. But like I said, North Street, they found it. They were going down 18 and turning on Maple, and now they found out North Street is the better one.
Yeah.
But that curve is just unbelievable to see people go on it.
Okay, I'll send a text off for extra patrol for that area.
I would
So we'll see
appreciate
it hopefully.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I haven't seen your sheet where you said all your pullovers and everything have been, but I do know at the corner of Deer Creek and Washington, where before it goes down the dip, the railroad tracks there, nobody stops there, nobody stops at the railroad tracks, and nobody stops at Lincoln Street, no matter which way that traffic's going.
Okay.
Can we do anything about slowing that down?
Yeah, same with the group text, we can do extra patrols in that area. Every time we do a traffic stop in that area, the location's documented, so I can see what productivity.
I mean, I live there and I just watched it, nobody stopped. Even yesterday morning, when I watched the dog, I watched the county officer, didn't stop.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just, it's a.
We can stop them too. I don't know, good as me, but.
And I know he wasn't offending to get somewhere.
Yeah. So where do you live at, Washington and Deer Creek?
I live at the corner of Howard and Lincoln.
Okay, but where is it?
425 East Howard.
And then just for the whole audience, if you're needing extra patrol, that is what we consider a call for service. So you can always call dispatch anytime, 24/7, and put it in our CAD system. We will get that alert when we log in for the shift that day. So you don't have to wait till the meeting to come speak up on that. So if you see a heightened area or a specific car, call it in so we can get to it. So just
Well, with multiple cars, I can't take all the plates and
Yeah.
and call
Yeah.
it. They don't stop at the stop sign on, even on my street, however, they go across the road tracks. Nope.
Yeah, and that was something we discussed in our annual meeting with the officers, was getting to some more secondary streets and off the beaten path of the main thoroughfares. So,
Be appreciated.
yep, appreciate it.
Okay. Committees, parks. You got anything?
Our new roof has been installed. Everybody take a look at it on the behalf of the park board. We really appreciate it.
It's done, right?
Yes,
It's done.
it's beautiful, and it was bad.
Oh my goodness.
This building?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
On the backside especially, the pictures, we knew it was bad. The day they were tearing it off, they sent me pictures and I kind of forwarded them out and went, we just dodged a bullet. It was worse than we even thought. So, hey Barry, I'm gonna, on their behalf, the group of us that are working on raising money for the park, we have a flyer that we would like to go out in this month's water bill. Is that a possibility?
Sure.
If it's printed, it's already printed, and she actually folded them for us.
Bring them up.
So I will get them up to you. We figured if that wasn't a possibility, we were gonna take them to Doors or something, so.
That's not a possibility.
Okay.
I want to see you do the work.
Okay, well, we didn't want to do that, so we greatly appreciate that, but,
No,
okay,
We'll probably know.
all right, thank you. Planning,
I still have to complain about the building that was handed. We're waiting, I talked to a couple of members, they want to wait till the meeting to address that. And the other complaint that is on 18, Mr. Rubin, he's still not doing anything.
All right, he committed to me that he would have it done last week, okay? If it's not done, I'll contact him.
Yeah, if nothing's been done.
Brad, we may have to go legal, okay, because he's gotten a certified letter. I gave him a phone call follow-up, and he committed that if he's not delivering, I'll let you know, okay?
There's also calls for service there too. Get access to.
and Michael, I have that other one down as at the end of the agenda too, just for a quick update, because I know there's some question on who's really even the owner there. So, we don't have BZA, ADA, we just had the final thing, aviation, there's not anything, so new business. This one is where you guys are on. We're gonna ask you to not make it super long.
I won't, but I don't know we can do it in 2 minutes either. Greetings. Talk to you, Cindy.
Yes, thank you.
I'm bringing greetings from the Lions Clubs of Indiana. I'm past District Governor Eric Schumann. This is my lovely wife, Lion Deanna, who's passing out some literature for you to look through. We like to think that it's time to bring back a Lions Club to Galveston. Now, I can coordinate a lot because I only live about 3.5 minutes down the road. Technically, I'm in Kokomo, but 350 in Davis. I'm close.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
What we want to do with how many are familiar with Lions Clubs and what we do? Okay, we started out with eyesight with Helen Keller back in 1925. We advanced to hearing aids and white canes and you name it in the community. I mean, I personally have painted seniors' houses and raked leaves and transported them, and a real popular thing is medical closets for loaning out wheelchairs and walkers. What I've given you there, one is a pamphlet on what we're about, who we are, and the other one is actually a membership application because we're hoping all of you, some, may join the club. We would like to have, with your permission, an organizational meeting here. This would be ideal in here. pick a night and a day. Right now, it doesn't matter because they'll pick their own day for their meetings. Normally, clubs meet twice a month, usually at night, but I also know about lunch clubs and I know about breakfast clubs. It's a matter of how many we can get. We need, is it 20 or 25?
20.
We need 20 people to sign up in order to charter the club. And then they get their banners and all that fun stuff, and they can start going out and helping your community, helping the needy, the less fortunate, whatever the community needs. With that, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to introduce past international director, Nick Xenopoulos. He came all the way here from Brownsburg, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about what we're about and what we do, including our state projects. Nick?
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I've been in line for 36 years now.
48.
Oh, you beat me to it. And folks, I don't regret a thing. I think every community deserves a Lions Club. And I'll tell you why. There's some sacrifice to be made. When you're a member, you try to raise some funds to help out the community. The Indiana Lions, they had five projects that we all support throughout the state of Indiana. We're approximately almost 10,000 Lion members. We had a lot more, unfortunately. You know, a lot of people, they left, and some of them we lost to death and things like that. The Vision First, the Lions Eye Bank, it's located on the north side of Indianapolis, and I've been a member there on the board for 26 years. And we provide cornea and cataract surgeries free of charge for people who qualify. There's a process to go through. And that's one of the benefits that your community can have if you have a Lions Club in here. Speech and hearing program for children. If they have issues with speech or hearing, that is also provided free of charge. The School for the Blind, that's on the north side of Indianapolis on the College Avenue. Not only we support financial to them, but also we go to their school twice a year and clean up the facility for the children there. Cancer control. We have a hospital downtown where the people can go get a second opinion or take somebody there, and some of the expenses will be paid. These are all these services are free of charge for people who qualify. The Leader Dog program, we provide Leader Dog for folks who are visually impaired. They can't see to get around. The Leader Dog is a cost of $38,000 to $42,000, and we get them from Rochester, Michigan. But it's a free of charge for the individual who wants that Leader Dog. And all this through Lions. We just recently, a couple of years ago, we started a diabetes program for diabetes children. We have a facility in Noblesville, Indiana. We just finished building that building. And Child Club can apply for certain children to go there for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it might be. And they will begin taking care of as far as their medication and their well-being there. Each one of the club is their standalone club. What do you do with the money that you raise? You spend it back in your community. Food pantries, anybody who needs help. You can help the police department, buy them a dog, whatever they need, other things that they need. That's what we do in Brownsburg. We've been around for 96 years and soon to celebrate our 100 years in Brownsburg. We're proud of that, And the fundraising, usually most of the Lions do fish fries and other activities like that. And then it's up to the club where to spend the money. We belong to the International Lions Club, which was established way back in 1917, and we just celebrated our 106, 107 years, There are approximately 1,400,000 members throughout the world. We are one of the largest not-for-profit organizations. We pay dues and we volunteer to make a difference in our community. Bottom line, the dues are $70 a year. You'll be billed twice a year for $35. And there's a one-time $35 registration fee to process the paperwork. And many good things once you have a club in here. The vision screening program for the children that we do,
including preschoolers and school-age children, 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 8th graders. The best part of that's the most important program to me anyway, because we do vision screen. I'm sure you're aware of the vision screen because you had a neighbor sometimes that come over here. The best part of this, many of these kids that cannot afford the glasses or the exam, the Lions would pay for. And we have right now, we just finished with Danville and Brownsburg and Avon communities, and we had 11 requests for kids who had been referred the second time. We did them in the 3rd grade, now it's 5th grade. And they, again, folks, they are too proud to ask for some help. But those are the kind of things that we do. You know, like I said, I've been a member for 36. He's been a member for longer than that. Part of it was Michigan. But I have no regrets. It's a good thing for your community. You know, helping each other out, that's the most important thing. So any questions for me?
I know my question to Eric when we talked was, okay, what do you need from us?
What we need to do, this is a start for us. We want you to be aware, this is who we are, this is what we're trying to accomplish in your community. Of course, it's always, we need somebody to say, you know, hey, the Lions are coming. Did you ever thought about this? It's a promotion of the community. I'm from Brownsburg. I can't do nothing for your community to go knock on the door and say, would you like to be a Lion? You know, this is what's going to cost you. But the benefits, the feel-good part, I never did mind paying my dues and work and make a difference in the community. It really meant it. This is what we ask of you to promote us. Hopefully that pass the word around and we can do this. And all the things that I mentioned, they'll start out and get some benefits for people who need help.
Never interrupt an international director. Actually, I know Brent from Lamb Garden.
Brent Aaron's?
Brent, yeah. Him and I have talked several times. We had a preliminary meeting with him over at the fire hall. There were several of us here then, and he suggested I start here. What we need, as I said earlier, we'd like your permission to have an organizational meeting. Here would be perfect. Give me a date, and we can, usually at night, so 6 or 7, and then permission to go around to the businesses, and I'll make up a flyer and ask them if we can put it in the window. We won't just do it, we'll ask their permission, if that's okay. And then the organizational meeting, they'll come in and hopefully we'll convince them to join, or they'll want to join. Many people would like to join, they just don't know how to do it. So, I'm sorry.
No, that's quite all right. That's right. We wanted to thank you for allowing us to tell you a little bit about our Lions, business. And like I said, we're almost 9,000 members here in the state of Indiana, and we have 48,000 clubs all over, the country.
We're broke up into 7 different districts in the state. This club would actually be a part of District C, which goes, I don't know exactly where, counties, it goes down as far as Lafayette, I know that. Where I live, 3 minutes down the road, is actually a part of District D, Delta. So I'd be converting over, but that's okay with me?
It's closer, right? I think it probably speaks fairly that our park board would be who would give you the permission to meet, but Sunny is their liaison.
Okay.
And would be the person that, on using this building, would
Will you
be.
give her my card?
I will absolutely share that with her. And I think that the community would be blessed to have you back around.
I agree.
I teach at Lewis Cass, and you all have done a lot with our elementary students over the years. And for many kids, that really is the stepping stone to getting them the vision help they need.
Absolutely.
And great ice cream.
They do.
I mean, there's that.
Yeah, because there is in America there.
Can I ask you a question? Don't we have one in Young America?
Young America has one.
Yes.
So if you possibly live in Galveston, we couldn't join or be already joined with the Young America Club?
You can join any club in the world.
You can join anybody.
Yep.
But
of course, we'd like you to be here because
to have your own.
We're trying to
I'm
start
just
it here.
curious if Young America might be struggling. I don't know their situation.
It's a small club, but they've got some really active members. I know they have an ice cream trailer they go around to all the festivals in.
That's why I was
Yeah.
asking, it goes to the 4-H Cass County Fair on the weekend.
Right, and they go to Howard County too.
So,
Just recently, if I may, one more minute, I played Santa Claus for a fundraising event for special kids. Right now, this weekend, they're in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. They're having fun. Special needs children and adults, as far as that goes. And I had a little sign there next to my chair, and we're raising funds for whoever wanted to take a picture. They can donate $1, whatever it is. The 6-year-old little boy came with his grandparents, and he said hello, very talkative young man. And he says, "What this sign says?" I said, "Well, if anybody wants to take a picture, I'm trying to raise funds to help out the special need kids." He opened his billfold. He had $4 in it. He took the $2 out of his billfold and a 30-cent change out of his pocket and put it in that jar. If that doesn't break it down, I don't know. Folks, we got to start caring about each other. You know, our community needs, we need help. It's a feel-good situation, you know. Like I said, you know, we've been working in all these years, and I have no regrets. I've seen a lot of good things happening, not only in our community, but around the world. You know.
all right, Eric, I will get her a number and we'll reach out to you. And
Thank you for allowing us to.
Thank you.
I thought he was trying to tell me I needed to stop you.
Something that
I'm
has
sorry,
to be
what?
done. I have a good and something that probably has to be done. The good is that my grandfather-in-law, who's no longer with us, ran the Young America Alliance Club.
Oh, very good, very good.
The other thing is, if they're going to businesses and such, that's sort of solicitation. Okay, we have an anti-solicitation, so I'm thinking we should consider doing an amendment for nonprofit activities such as this.
Only to clarify, we won't be soliciting funds at all. We will simply be putting, for this organization part, we'll be putting up flyers and windows, that's it. When the club forms, then there's many different ways of raising money, right within the club itself. I don't think I know of any club that actually goes door to door.
It probably still, even if they don't need a solicitation form, since they're not soliciting, to at least let Barry's office know
Sure.
the day that you're doing that, in case somebody does call in, that they can say, you know, we are aware they're in town, and yes, they're legitimate as a group.
Sure, absolutely. Anything else? Well, we thank you very much for your time. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Parks and the water line, John.
Okay, so, Tarp's water bill has been going up, over the last couple months. And with the weather, we wasn't able to go out and investigate it. But last week, I had the guys go out there and meet with Danny Weingartner. And when they got out there and back down to the pit, a boring company had went through their meter pit. There was no locates called in. We don't know who the guilty party is, but they did hit his meter and his water line. So until we can get out there and make the necessary repairs to the meter pit, I would ask that you just give a minimal bill. Also, I had the guys, I told them to call in a locate for that area, just to see who comes out and flags the fire. So, that's where we're at.
Okay.
So,
John,
Okay.
is this the trailer?
no, this is actually Tarp's meter pit back behind. It quite possibly could be the fiber going to that. I don't know. So that's why, you know, have the guys call in a locate. We see who comes out and flags it, and then we'll go from there.
I raised questions about that with the owner of that.
Yeah, I don't know where it goes, but, you know, there was an email sent to the council that showed where it went through the meter pit.
Big time.
Okay, Barry?
So we calculated a 6-month average, not taking into account the last one, which is very high. Okay, so in other words, they're normal, and came up with an amount that we're going to assess. Okay, it's fair. The second thing is that the owner, Dan, okay, of Tarks, indicated that he knew who the company was, the tree trimming company. Okay.
The tree trimmers drove over it when they was parking their equipment.
Right, but the question would be, did they damage on the town side or on Tark's side? You know, which you don't know yet, right?
Right.
If it's on Tark's side, then it's a civil matter between Tarks and that group. And if it's not, then, you know, I'll contact Brad, and, you know, whenever you know what the problem is.
So what he's saying is, the tree trimmers ran over the pit, but that's not what is causing this major issue.
Right.
This major issue was somebody who bore into
Prior to that.
the actual line.
Fiber optic, okay.
So, yeah. So they probably have further issue based on that, but this is the major issue that's causing the fits. So, okay, so you guys have already taken care of that. This is, and it ended up being about this big for me to print, so I did not, and so I just wrote the synopsis on there. But I'm going to let John explain this part too. When we were doing the Christmas lights, we ended up discovering that we didn't have a Duke outside light contract. We got this 2 months ago. I forgot to bring it up on last month, and so they took care of us in good faith with this. But John, can you explain how that billing goes?
So, years ago when we was putting up the Christmas decorations, we had an agreement with Duke. They came out and installed a new light on the street lights that had a pigtail on the sensor. And we ran an extension cord down the pole to the Christmas decoration. So they have came into town and they've replaced some of the street lights with LEDs. And with that said, then they had to, because LEDs don't like to see any fluctuation in power, so they have to drop a feed down the pole and put an outlet on the pole for each Christmas decoration. So it figures up to be $6.35 a pole for the 29 Christmas decorations. That's per month. I think the previous was like a $30-something. And with that said, Duke was also supposed to switch all the street lights out to LEDs. I seen them back in town working on some of those, but I've not got back with him to see what the actual plan is and where they're at. So normally with the conversation that I had with them, they don't just come in and do a few. They normally do the entire town, and he didn't understand why just some of them, a select few had been done and not the entire town. So.
Okay, well, I do have the contract from Duke for about the third time because they send it as a DocuSign. It is finally coming through and not going to my spam, which is good. That's what caused the problem the last time, is it was hitting my spam folder and I was afraid to release it because it didn't have Duke's name on it. So we need a motion to accept the Duke outside contract so I can sign it and finally get it back to him.
I make a motion that we accept the Duke outside contract, 29 units covered for a monthly total of $184.15.
Second.
Is that Mike? Or Todd? I couldn't tell. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, then we have a DLC contract, or a contract invoice totaling $1,500 for the CCMG. No,
Yeah.
It is CCMG, yes it is. Yeah, it is.
I'll make a motion to approve the GLZ CCMG contract invoice in the amount of $1,500.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions?
Yeah, you're gonna have to fill me in on why we pay these people ungodly every month.
We'll do that later, okay?
Okay.
Well, yeah, because there really are, it's how they break it down into their parts, it's their total and the contract of what they're doing, but we'll discuss that. We can do that. Okay, but here is the, if you want to see it, there's the invoice itself. Okay, we have a motion and a second.
My question. Okay. Just real quick, on this one, $84.15 a month that you're saying for those receptacles that were dropped on the poles, is that charged only per month when you plug something into it, or is that a monthly cost
12
for
months.
them to make? Does that mean they'll maintain it if the plug burns out? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a good question.
All right, so we had a motion and a second. No. Yes, of the DLC contract. We haven't voted. All in favor? Aye. Okay. What Drew is waiting on. I told him I thought I had him second on the list. Didn't, Drew, sorry. We have talked about renting the Old Town Hall property. I don't have the perfect answers on this. I met with Drew tonight, and we're kind of talking about some things. I've talked to John, where we might not need to do any rental. There might be some adjusting of maybe not renting them the entire property. But I need John to kind of look at some things where we could, whether we can block off a small section that could be used as storage on our part, that they would still have full access to everything else. We just have to kind of figure out some logistics. I told Drew their goal would be to have access to the building by February 1st. Brad did a really good job of getting us the contract so that they have it to be able to look at. I would rather not vote on that contract tonight, but to possibly have a second meeting, whether it goes right before this executive session or something, that we could vote on it so they could have the access on the 1st. But we need to take the things that Barry gave us last week into consideration in terms of what we're doing. I don't think there's any question we can still make this all work. It's just a matter of how we make it work. Are we looking at us then turning around and renting something, or do we have space that we can accommodate within here and adjust what we were going to charge them and rent slightly, from that. So, yeah, that's going to be, I'm just going to suggest that we table it. So, do we have a recommendation to do that? I just wanted to fill you in on where we were.
I make a motion, we table the rental contract of Old Town Hall.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Barry gave us paper here on this next part. Barry, water bill interval. Suggestions? What can you?
So one of the things that the variable is when there are 20 properties, and I've shared those with you, and you know them too, that cannot be automatically read or via the antenna. Okay, so John's crew does the reading. So part of when we have a delay is because we have to wait for the reading. We're not going to do 2 invoice sessions per month, okay? But what I have here is an aggressive schedule, and I have some more if you want them. If you want it, I'll try to find it here. Okay, and we'll keep you apprised if we can't have to deviate from it. Okay, it's not just pressing a button; it's getting the automatic ones read and the manual ones read, and that's a scheduling issue. Okay, so for example, one of the if it came up for a 30, and by the way, the ordinance, I'll just clarify this, says approximately 30 days. So approximate is a relative term. okay? It doesn't say it has to be 30 days. So we try to get as close to that as possible. That being said, stuff happens, okay? So here's the preliminary, I'll just give it to each of you, okay? Mama? I'm trying to collect more from you. All right,
So Barry, just from my own sake, when it says ending cycle, would that be the reading date?
The last two, yeah, the
The
beginning date and then
the ending cycle would be the reading date. Yeah, and at most there's a 3-day, at most there's a 3-day sway versus a 7, so.
What period, right? Thursday?
Well, but they're from here to here
Oh,
is 3. And then from here to here is 3, but you're never gonna get it exactly 30, and I get that, so. Okay. I don't think that needs any action on our part.
you got a question?
Oh, yep,
Can I ask a question, Barry?
Yeah.
So, like you said, 30 days approximately. So, say there's 20 properties, right? That whatever piece of equipment you don't get it. So, let's say you start at, so whoever it is gets in their vehicle or however they do it, say they start at 9 o'clock, how long does it take to get those 20?
I can't answer that, maybe John can. The question is, if there's, how long does it take?
how long does it take the guys?
An hour?
Maybe a couple hours at most.
That's all.
Sometimes the reading, if on 30 days, it's a weekend, okay?
Well, I wasn't asking about technically on the 30, I was asking the ones that this system can't pick up, so you have to drive around. I just wanted to know how long did it actually take to drive around town to pick up the ones that's all it was.
Not my lane.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good, does that answer your question?
Well, my question was, the 28 to 34 only affects the bill of people that are the minimum usage. People that, you pay for what you use. I don't have a problem paying for what I use, but I don't like the 28, and I'm still paying for what I don't use. The minimum.
Ordinance says minimum is $99.60, sorry.
I know, but that's the problem. That was my complaint. I'm getting charged more when you go 34 days, which I use it, I don't have a problem. But I get charged below the minimum, but I still pay the minimum on the days that I don't use the water.
And I think
If
Barry,
you're on vacation for 2 weeks and out of state,
you've gone in on those when there's been that huge swing on the minimum bills and made adjustments, right?
Yeah.
So if they missed one on doing that, give them a call. Because if you're an average, I'm the same way. I'm a minimum user, and we had that discussion the last time that happened. Is when it goes that additional 6 days, for everybody else, it eventually is going to even out. It's going to be less the next time. It's going to be more. It's going to even out. But if you go above the minimum 1 month, so if that happens, give them a call. And
but I'm going to wait and see if this here proposal goes, because 32 is the most, and it might be enough to where you don't.
Well, I'm looking here. What I see as the big difference is, and that's what I was looking at and talking to Todd, the most difference is 3 days. I think when the big differences have been happening, it's been like a 7-day sway one direction or the other, which can definitely make a difference.
28 days to 34.
Right, but there's nothing on this schedule, if this works.
Right.
Nothing on this schedule will have that big of a sway. So I think we should be okay with this. But if that happens, give them a call. Because if you're a minimum user, one of two things is happening. You've either had some kind of leak that they
First
can,
thing you think is you've got a leak somewhere.
Right.
When all of a sudden your water's going to up against it.
but yeah, give them a call. If that happens, and they can take a look at it.
Also, Cindy, while we're talking about the billing, I had Diane do a spreadsheet on the trailer park.
Oh, yes.
All council members have a copy of that as well. There's been some issues with bad debt out there, I guess. And they're putting in more and more trailers. And they're getting put over top of the meter pits. The guys can't get in to read the meters. So I had Diane put this together for the council to review it. And what we was kind of thinking is, I wanted to have something where you guys could do a comparison as to putting a master meter at the front of the park. I know you and I have talked about this before, Cindy. And so I would at least like for you guys to look at this and review it, give it some thought. Maybe not needing action tonight, but.
Question, that would be like the Georgetown Apartments that have a master meter?
Yes, yes.
That makes sense.
Yes. And I think a 2-inch meter,
Why don't we put this on next month's agenda? And that way all of us can take a look at it, ask John questions during the course of the month. Does that work for you, John?
yes.
Okay.
And getting back to Mike's question about how long it took, Austin said it took him about an hour. So
Okay.
to read those 20.
So if everybody can take a look at that, kind of, Barry, if you have any idea, like what we would collect master-wise from the whole trailer park, and how that would, I don't know if there's a way to do that. I'm just saying, if there is, if you can, I'm not saying definitely do it. I don't even know that it can be done, but if there's something that we can pull some master or some data from to know what that would look like.
John, do you know how many units there are now?
There was, I don't know, when all the lots was full, there was like maybe 52. And then, maybe there might have, taken a few off.
So these are the bad debt, these numbers here that says the state of the town? That first column?
I think right now Diane said there was like $6,000, $5,000 or $6,000.
Yeah, because that one's like $1,600. How does it get that high? How does it keep accumulating? When you shut it off, and how does it get up to $1,600?
Well, and I think, Barry, your office had worked with the previous manager, so, yes, and I think that's where a lot of them.
We got in touch, he walked, the previous manager walked, okay, so we're now, the current manager who's in North Carolina,
So he used to pay for all the tenants, is that what you're saying?
and he walked. So we're conversing with the new property manager / I think the owner, okay? But that just started about 8 days ago.
Okay, so let's put that on February and go from there, if that works for everybody. From me, we need to make a park board appointment for the 2026 through 2029. I would like to recommend that the council accept Marcia Riggs as the person that fills that term. She would actually continue in a position that she's already on. So we would need a motion from the council to appoint her. Well, she is the president, and if we accept her, she will continue in that role because they met this last week. But
that's all the way to 2029?
It is remember when we did the park plan, we discovered that we had to have a person rotate each year or a person that was actually up each year. It would be from 26 through 29. It's a 4-year appointment.
All right, I make a motion to approve Marcia Riggs the park board president for 2026.
Well, not president, just member.
Just member for 2026 to 2029.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, then we have a voice invoice for $11,100. I think that's the one that pays everybody, right? It's the payroll one? Is voice the payroll?
It's all the financial.
Okay, all the financial.
I make a motion, we pay the voice invoice in the amount of $11,100.
Who's voice?
Our financial software, they're the vendor, okay, they do a lot of government, okay, and they have been exceptional, okay. And they provide financial, payroll, and some others, okay. They're good.
Is that a monthly invoice?
No, that's a once a year annual fee.
Okay, we have a motion. We need a second.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, Barry, I have a question, and you may not know the answer to this, but I'm a little apprehensive here. I got an email today from, it appears it's a LEAP type thing, but it's PHIN, no reply, and it's a welcome to security awareness. I was bad, and I did open it, and probably shouldn't have, because that's what LEAP tells us. But it's all about a cybersecurity awareness training that we've been enrolled in. Who determined that we were to be enrolled in these courses?
The way it was, I don't know that answer, but let me share. They changed cybersecurity teachers, if you will, okay? The previous one was called No Before, so this is they called me and said, we're starting with Finn, okay? That's a valid email, okay?
Well, no, I figured that out later as I realized it really was LEAP, but.
So just Wes and me, and I don't know how they determined, I didn't assign you or anything, and I didn't know until you just mentioned it. So.
I'm a little bit apprehensive when a company comes in that there's no guidance from anybody, and they tell you that the town of Galveston takes cybersecurity very seriously, and we appreciate your help with this critical effort. And I'm going, I do. I've been to trainings. I get the importance. But then you also told me in this email that I'm going to be tested regularly to see how well their training is working, and I shouldn't open emails.
Is that a test?
But yet, I shouldn't have opened this email. And who decided that I'm going to do your training?
Well, firstly, I took the course every month, okay? And my cumulative average is 99.4%, okay? So I got one wrong. Okay? All right, you take a quiz. The fact that you're there, let me just share this with you. I have a personal appointment or meeting on Thursday morning, and I'll bring it to their attention. But I will actually, I have a great relationship with the owner. I will contact him remotely as well.
Well, and I knew this was not something that you had done. I just was curious because I got caught in one of the things one time in terms of opening an email I shouldn't have, where there was the warning of, and they tell you we're going to monitor it. But the thing on it is I'm one that I always look at an email address and what that email address is. And this one was actually an email from a town of Galveston email, which tells me I should be able to open it. And then I open it, and it's their security breach type thing of you just scooped the kiddo.
So I'll find that bottom line.
Okay, thank you. I just was curious when
how you got registered.
Yeah. Well, and I'm just curious.
As well?
I think I got it on.
Yeah.
I just hadn't looked at it yet.
You all got it.
I think they do that to everybody, just to see if you open it.
Well, but this one honestly is a legit email, but, you know,
Yeah,
I didn't know that Finn no reply, and I think I actually, something on it that I could see before I opened it, I saw the word leap. So, I don't know, but whatever. I just was curious. All right, the second reading of ordinance 2026-01 for vacating certain alleys has been posted. Do we need to read it a second time? Okay, so this is the one by the fire station that we've talked about previously and finally have everything signed, and this will be our second reading, and it is 2026-01 to make it match the second reading for being this year. So we would just need a motion to accept it.
I make a motion that we accept ordinance 2026-01.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? And for those of you that are here tonight, the question last month was, we're giving a taxable area. No, we aren't, because it's on fire department property. So we are not just giving away land. It's a non-taxable area anyway. So, all right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and then this is what I was talking about, the Sycamore property complaint that we had last month. When I came into the office one day, they were telling me that there's confusion over owners. Do you know anything about that? Okay, it had to do, and this one we may end up needing Brad to give us some input too, because it has something to do with somebody sold the property, but it hasn't been changed on the Cass County records. So if you call Cass County, they tell you it's owned by this person, but yet that person says it's owned by somebody else, so who really is responsible for this cleanup? And so Mike, before your meeting, if you guys are going to discuss it, I know it was Naomi and Diane were talking about it that day. I went in to check on that package that was delivered. So you might check with them and just say, have you determined really who the owner is? Because they were trying to figure out who to send something to. Okay, so that doesn't really need anything from us. We're back to anything from the council. Well, I was going to actually get ready to come back there.
Yep.
Anything else from the council?
Do you want to do this?
We can like it scheduled. Okay. Back to questions, concerns. I actually have it on the agenda, so I remember to do it. Questions, concerns, or remarks from the audience at this point? Oh, it is not. Sorry. Michael.
Yeah, so I cut wood today, so I went back through the alley that butts up between me and Bobby Jones. And I did notice today that the property that is in question.
Hold on just a minute. As we're talking about missing, sorry, totally my fault, but the papers that we always have for the minutes that we've approved, that you keep, we don't have that, and we don't have none of the financial stuff.
See what happens when you shift the.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The agenda.
Sorry. Okay, Michael, sorry, just that realization we didn't have some stuff.
So while I was in my backyard or going through the alley, I noticed that some of the brick, a lot more brick has fell off that building. So me living adjacent to that property, firsthand is that when that wall comes down, it will probably smack Bobby Jones's building. 2, it's going to land on Justin Anderson's property also. 3, when that wall comes down, the power line's coming down, it's going to burn my fence down, because that power line runs across my backyard. So somewhere down the line, if a kid's in my backyard playing or whatever, that power line comes across there, it's gonna hurt somebody.
We're gonna trust that this week this week when you meet? That they're going to address it.
When we had that wind here a week ago, that whole back area, the ceiling has dropped to the ground. So another 28 foot by 16, 18 foot in the last couple of days has broke. and hit inside. And some of the wall studs just came loose off the main perimeter. And it's just, we get snow again.
Yeah,
It's-
well, and I
it's
know
really
that was the
coming
reason we made sure that it was back on here. If you can check with them and find out where the ownership is and whether, because I don't know that they were able to send a letter out based on that ownership discussion that was being held that day that I was in there.
I know if it's ran like a vehicle, it's whoever the registered owner is. So I would say send them a registered letter. And if they sold it, they're still responsible for it. Am I correct, Brad?
Yeah,
They're the registered owner of it.
Yeah, it's still person A.
Right, it's still person A.
Yeah, I agree.
But I will go down, I will make a special trip to Williamsport tomorrow.
Well, check with Diane first, because I know it was Diane that was saying something about there was a quitclaim deed in Indianapolis, something wasn't filed. And honestly, I don't understand all of that legalese, and I knew that we just needed to add it to the agenda. So if you can check with her, and then if you need to go to Logan, you can, but I know it had something to do with Indianapolis too. Okay, anybody else in the audience?
Desmond Brown's investments.
Yeah, but he claims he's sold it, and there's a lady involved, I think, or it's the vice versa.
Yeah.
She had it, but no, if Desmond Brown's on there, he claims he sold it and she hasn't changed everything over in Logansport.
Hey, it's no different than a car. He's a
Yeah.
registered owner, they didn't do their legal obligation and see it through.
Well, I know the ladies were discussing this in the envelope.
I'll go there tomorrow.
Okay, we're ready for,
I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
I second that motion.
we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.